introduction course for Essential Oils 101, meaning we're going to go really to the basics to understanding why are we using essential oils, what is it good for, what can it do for you, and learn about everything that has been in our starter kit. And I know there are some fairly new members as well on this call. So I think it'll be really nice as well to kind of take out those oils if you have them with you, as we will be learning about all of them as well. So for those that don't know me yet, my name is Desiree. I have been using essential oils for almost 6 years now. And it all started for me with essential oils. And I've only started going into the whole toxic-free lifestyle, meaning switching and ditching all of the toxins in my life about 3 years ago when I found out that I was pregnant with my little one. That's for me when it made click, I've got to make a change in my life. Then I also started to get really, really interested in why do these essential oils work so well? I've been using them for medical purposes as well, and I really, really wanted to understand why. So I decided to certify myself as well as a clinical aromatherapist. And I also did a course in a metaphysical aromatherapy, so about energy and energy healing, and combine all of these elements together. I am the creator of Oily Essentials, which is our essential oil community, and we are spread in over 20 countries already, which is awesome and amazing. And I myself currently live in Japan, and yeah, so that's me, and that's my little one. I think that's already quite an old picture. I should probably update that one. Still very little there. Okay, 1 second. Ooh. Why can I not move to the next slide? Okay. So I always want to just give a quick disclaimer at the beginning, saying that everything that I'm going to share here today is just for sharing and educational. If physician or anything that needs further attention, please always consult with your physician first. And I'm sharing this purely out of experience and from the things I learned, but I am not an official doctor. So please always make sure you seek professional help if you need to as well. So first of all, I want to just dive into just questioning, what is an essential oil? What is it? So if we think about our body, right, and the reason we're alive and walking around is because we have blood running through our veins. That's what makes us live. And it's very similar for trees and flowers and plants, that they have a sort of lifeblood in them that to grow. And that is what the essential oil really is, right? So it is a volatile substance, and it has takes all of the characteristics of the actual plant and tree, which is why every essential oil has different purposes. So they have therapeutic qualities, and these are purely natural, that can range from anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-infectious, anti-agings, all of these things, which is why we combine a lot of oils together for certain conditions. And most of these oils we get through steam distillation. And I will walk through that process a little bit more in detail. And it's really, really, really concentrated as well, because I know a lot of you in here may be used to familiar with Chinese medicine. Now, Chinese medicine, you will know that they use a lot of herbs and a lot of dried flowers and all of that. And they tend to boil them, make them into teas and all of that. So basically, when they boil it and kind of make a concentrate out of it, they'll need like 3 bowls of the dried herbs and flowers. And then when they condense it down, or like they boil it down, they can produce like 1 bowl, right? With which they use as teas or kind of potions or whatever. Essential oils, you actually need 300 to 500 bowls of dried herbs and flowers to make just 1 bowl of essential oil, which shows how concentrated they really are. And that one single drop really goes a long way. So, okay, I cannot continue with this presentation. Why is that stuck? Can you hear that sound? Cinta, can you help me do stop share somehow?
Let me try open with my laptop. Yeah. Currently I'm using the
Now it
mobile
worked.
phone.
1
Okay.
second. Sorry.
Great.
Now continue. That's
Great.
very great. Okay. Okay, I just want to give you a few examples about how concentrated actually these oils are. So if we take lemon, if you have some lemon oil with you now, so 1 drop of lemon is actually much more, is like a lot, so many more kilos and so many more rind, so many more fruit than you would ever imagine, right? So 1 drop really goes a long way. I gave someone the advice actually yesterday to drink some peppermint water. And in that peppermint water, just a cup of hot water and put 1 single drop of peppermint inside. And 1 drop is actually equivalent to 29 tea bags. That's a lot. So what I also do, if I don't have any tea bags or anything, I literally just put 1 drop, and then you can drink it and you can inhale it, and it just gives you a lot of therapeutic benefits. Then 1 drop of rose is actually equivalent to 30 roses or 2,000 petals. And now we know why rose essential oils is so expensive. Because if you buy a bunch of roses, that's already expensive, right? So just imagine 1 drop equals, so if you get a 5 milliliter bottle, that's like 100 drops inside, which is why it's so expensive. And then in 1 bottle, like a 115 milliliter bottle of lavender, there's actually 68 kilos of lavender flowers. So I think this really gave me a new appreciation of the contents of the oil. So I want to talk a little bit about how does it work with our body. So what's really, really remarkable is that, well, our human body is made up of many, many cells, right? And the amazing thing is then, I guess, God as a creator or whatever you may believe in, but the way the world was created is that actually man, like humans, are so similar to plants in the way their molecular structure is, which is why sometimes man-made medicine, like the modern medicine that's created in a lab, cannot go to the depth of what nature can do for you, because the molecules can actually shape into the human cell. So I really learned this in my course because I was so interested, and I dove deeper into that topic. So the oils can clean the receptor sites in our body and actually help, oxygen to flow through and everything. So if you imagine a cell, right? So when we're sick, there's a virus stuck. The word virus, I know everyone hates the word right now, but there's a virus stuck in the cell. So when you have, and outside is all the bacteria and all of that, right? So when we take man-made medicine, like your Panadol or your aspirin or whatever, or like heavier medicine as well, what it does, it can usually, get away of all the bacteria and all the symptoms, and you say, wow, it helped me, I feel a lot better now. But you will notice you will get sick again and again, and it doesn't really go away. And especially when we talk about chronic sicknesses or chronic illnesses, it will not go away. And the pharma industry, unfortunately, is very smart that they want you to be dependent on their medication because this is how they make their money, right? So you'll need to, if they say, okay, please get on these hormone medication or get on these other, whatever, blood pressure medication, you need to take it all the time and usually for the rest of your life, right? Because if we're sick, we need to get rid of this virus. What the essential oils can do, they are so small, the molecules are so small, they can go into the cell and actually get to the root cause of the problem and diminish the virus. And which is why we have been able to reverse chronic illnesses from it. Right. So we obviously need to be careful about how we share that. We're not doctors and everything, but there are so many testimonials and studies out there. So it's really quite fascinating. And a lot of people say, don't you feel sometimes when you tell people, oh yeah, I'm using essential oils, like essential oils, for them, like, what is this new hype or new trend, and why this is like just a new phase? Not really, because essential oils is nature, it's plants, it's what the old, like what the whole history has been using before, right? So already from the Egyptians to the Greek to the Romans to, if you look in the references of the Bible, there is so many times essential oils mentioned. And there's also 8,000 references in the National Library of Medicine. So actually, only modern medicine, when someone decided, I'm going to put on a white lab coat, I'm going to beaker and ask, and I'm going to concoct something, that's modern medicine. But our generation and our parents' generation, that's all we know. Ever since we're alive, that's what we know. We go to a pharmacy, get some pills, and that's what we use. But actually, the whole history before, like since the creation of like our world, plants were used instead of that. So it's not new. The modern medicine is actually a new thing. So a lot of medicine is actually inspired by oils. If you look at, for example, aspirin and how that's made, it contains wintergreen, and wintergreen is from a plant. And wintergreen, we have that as an essential oil. And if you look at a lot of other medicines, it's all inspired by nature, but then created in the lab to make a synthetic form because it's often cheaper, you can produce more. And, that's kind of what our medicine has evolved. It's all inspired by nature. So if you look at also, if you make a comparison, okay, should I take essential oils as medicine or should I use it as prescription? So when you take medicine, usually it says, okay, make sure you take it after food, make sure you do this and do that. But essential oils, no real digestion is required, right? And then prescriptions it is, because it may be taxing otherwise to your liver or something. Essential oils are really gentle to our cells, whereas prescription is not. Then when you take oils as well, it targets several aspects of our body. For example, I have really bad eyesight. So I used sacred frankincense as a sort of like a protocol for a couple of months to really help my eyesight. So I had a thing that I did every morning, every evening. All of a sudden, like, oh my God, I'm so much more productive. I'm not so tired anymore. I don't have brain fog. I don't have this. And I realized it's because I was using the oils for a whole different purpose, right? If I were using, for example, peppermint for a headache, at the same time, it'll help my digestion. At the same time, it'll give me energy, right? Whereas prescription medicine, it usually targets a single thing in your body and usually have like 10 other side effects. So, you got to think about that as well. Of course, essential oils naturally made, prescription is synthetic, and then oils, the more you use, the more your life improves. That's why we call it a lifestyle. And then prescription, the more you use, also the more dependent you become on it, and it's again not quite the way to go nowadays. So just something to think about. And for the ones who are familiar with the FDA, I know it's not so widely spread, let's say in Asia, but because we get a lot of our products also from the United States and all of those, that's part of the world, they are controlled pretty much by the FDA, and their regulations allow a company to label its oils as 100% pure as long as they contain at least 5% of the actual oil alleged to be in the bottle. Isn't that crazy? So when we go to like a health food store or like one of these like Reform House or like some you know, like already natural kind of food store, and we read these labels of like, oh, it's 100% pure and all of that, it doesn't mean that necessarily. So what became really important to me, so of course I'm German, I'm skeptical by nature, I think. Is that fair to say? We have a couple of Germans here. But I tend to research what I'm using and why I'm using it and why should I go with this company, not with another company. And I want to use the best, right? So you start kind of researching it. So these are some of the like finds I made as well. So first of all, we have, when we look at oils, because I get asked this question a lot, and you may have been a person who asked that question as well, or you may in the future, now that you're going to share this maybe with friends, people are going to ask you to, yeah, but what's the difference between this and this? So let's talk about the synthetic grade. That's like the bottom, that's the main, like mainstream essential oil out there. Super low quality. It is like a nature, it'll smell like a lemon or smell like an orange, but it has nothing to do with the fruit because it's just made in a lab. And that you will find, for example, in air fresheners, in your dishwashing liquid that smells like lime or whatever, in your toilet cleaner that smells like pine or like whatever, right? In your air freshener that smells like lavender, that is the lowest grade. So when we use all of these things, we also inhale them, right? These are the fumes, the cheapest thing available. Then we go up a little bit more in quality and we have the fragrance grade. Now the fragrance grade is what we use in perfumes, but they're still like extended or alterated, meaning there's still stuff inside there, right? They may contain chemicals because, okay, for example, let's say Sassy likes Chanel No. 5, right? That perfume. And I do too. So we both travel, go to duty free. She buys it here, I buy it there. And they need to be the same. It can't be that she buys it and it smells a bit different than mine. It has to be the same. I mean, it's a Chanel, it's a brand and everything, right? So the companies actually try to alter it so that it always smells the same. So they'll put like alcohol fillers in there or some synthetic thing to make it balanced, to have exactly the same batch all over the world of that fragrance, right? And but then nature is never the same. So if there has been a big thing a couple of years ago, was it? I think Cinta also remembers that case where peppermint, people were buying peppermint. They're like, what? It smells different. It's like different than the peppermint I used to buy. It's like, well, it's like a living thing. It depends how much rain was there that day, how was the soil, how was the weather, how much sun, how was it harvested. So yeah, it's like wine. Like think about wine, right? It's like different, like the same grape, the same whatever, but different vintages. So it does the same to you, but it tastes slightly different, right? And it's kind of like the same like that. So fragrance grade, they have to keep it the same. Plus when you wear perfume, you also apply it around here, right? And like the quality of these things are just going down, which is why a lot of people have thyroid issues or imbalances, because that's just where we spray the perfume. So we just got to be mindful about that. The next one is the natural grade. Now, the natural grade is what most people buy. Most people that are not going to, let's say, the therapeutic grade, they'll use it for baking, for cooking, for also for medicine or for diffusing or whatever. They buy it 100% pure, really good, also not so cheap. They'll buy that. So they're naturals. They can still have chemicals in them depending who the company is, but they can be totally pure, 100% pure, yes, but they may not have that therapeutic benefit. And I'll show you why in the next slide. But they may just not do so. You also spend a lot of money, you'll diffuse it, but there's no real effect, right? And I'll explain to you why. But then first, the top and the most highest quality there is the therapeutic grade. And that is safe for internal use. So it's completely pure, it's unadulterated, meaning nothing else added to it. So if you have rosemary, it's like literally the rosemary plant inside the bottle, right? Nothing else added whatsoever. And that's how let's say a company like Young Living is able to draw all of the therapeutic qualities out there so that we can use it as medicine, that it can alter our emotions or something. So quality is just extremely important. So there is, Young Living has a seed to seal quality promise, meaning that from the moment, I'll probably go to this slide, makes a bit more sense. From the moment, like when they choose the seeds to plant, they already look at the quality of the seeds. They're like, okay, this one not, this one yes, you know, so that's already one thing. The way they grow it, the way they harvest it, the way they distill it, and until the moment when they bottle it and put the seal. So from seed to seal, the process is in their hands. There's no middleman. There is no one that can do something that may lose a bit of quality, right? And that is their promise. And they're the only company in the world who owns all their farms or who partners with their farms and actually has distilleries on the sites, so they don't have to transport it from here and there, because transportation also makes the quality lesser. They distill it on site. So the way it happens, I'll go through it quickly because it'll just explain, because we get so many questions about why Young Living and why is it so expensive, and sometimes, right? So you have plants and they go through this distillation chamber, and I'll just open it all up, and then it gets steamed, it gets vaporized, and this whole process, depending on the plant, can take a really, really, really long time, right? So, and on this side, I cannot move my mouse to show you, but on the side where the essential oil is collected, you have the essential oil and then the water in between, right? So that's where it ends. So Young Living does cold distillation, meaning that it's only a certain temperature, nothing above, because the hotter the distillation is, the more molecules and properties get destroyed, yeah, in the process. So a lot of other companies, let's say we have another, I'm not going to name any names today, but we have other companies where they're like, oh, you know, we're going to sell our oils cheaper, we're going to produce more, and they pride themselves of never going out of stock. They distill really, really hot, so it's really, really fast, and they can distill more and quicker, and everything still natural. But in that process, they destroy a lot of the therapeutic properties in there that we need if we want to use it, like medicine or all of that. So then it goes through the whole process, and then do you see that there's floral water that comes as well? So Young Living only takes like the first skin of the oil, and that's what they put in the bottles, and that's what they sell. Okay. Other companies, they'll take a little bit of the oil and some of the floral water. So it's 100% natural and safe, but it's not the pure thing. Like it's not the real pure oil because it's mixed with floral water, or then a lot of other companies, they fill it up with alcohol or something. So they only put a little bit of the real thing, then fill it up so they can sell more. And selling more means more money, right? So we got to be really mindful. And for me, it was important, which company do I choose? Who can I trust 100%? And how do I know how they do it? So Young Living owns their farms, and you can go there and actually watch this process. They have nothing to hide, which I really respect. Okay, any questions so far about this process? No. Okay. So let's okay. So another thing that's really important to mention is there's different schools of thought. Okay, what does that mean? There's different way aromatherapy is being taught around the world. So the most common way is the British school of thought, because it's been invented by this or brought to life by this person, and they use these essential oils mainly to make beauty products like soaps and lotions and everything with pure oils, but not the therapeutic grade. Yeah, not necessarily the highest quality, but just aroma. And when you go through that kind of teaching of aromatherapy, which by the way comprises like 95% of schools and everything, they teach this British way. But it's more like wellness, beauty, things like that. They mainly use it like massages, massage oil, and all of that. Then there's the German school of thought. I didn't even know there was a German school of thought, but I thought that was really interesting. Mainly the Germans use it for inhalation and diffusing and all of that. And I remember actually when I was a kid and I was sick, my mom would always be like, okay, let's go take a bowl, hot bowl, put some oils and a towel over, and then you inhale. It's really common, right? Sassy is nodding. It's like, yeah, it's common. And or we have this inhalation thing where we always breathe in, right, when we're congested or something. So pretty much that's kind of how they use the aromas in terms of medicine. Then comes the French school of thought. Now they do everything. They put it on their skin, diluted or not diluted. They inhale it, they diffuse it, they ingest it. They even do it intravenously, like through the blood. It's quite extreme, but they do. They do it suppository, vaginal. They use it every which way. There's even hospitals in France that use aromatherapy instead of the modern medicine. And I didn't know that. And it's like in our part of the world, we're so used to Chinese medicine, like DCM, everyone uses Chinese medicine. Da, da, da. Well, in France, aromatherapy is their way of alternative medicine. So obviously our teachings and Young Living teachings go to the French school of thought, and it can because they use only the highest grade therapeutic grade essential oils. Yeah. And I mention this and I emphasize this because there's many times where, let's say, someone says, "Hey, Des, I have a stomach bug, I have food poisoning, what do I do?" So I tell them, "Hey, take a drop of Digize, drink it in your cup of water, you'll feel better, or put some in your capsule and swallow it." And then they're like researching it a little bit. And what do most people do when they have a question? They ask Dr. Google. And Dr. Google will say, "Oh my God, never ingest it, never take it, never put oils inside you." And you're like, "But wait a second, but Desiree just told me that I can." Because usually all the teachings out there in the public follow the British school of thought, which is do not use the therapeutic grade oils and which do not ingest it. So FYI, if you come across that, come reach out to us and we'll explain it, or we'll give you the proper way to use these oils. Okay, so there are a few different ways on how to use the oils. The first way is inhalation. Now, when we inhale the oils, it goes, it's through our olfactory system, which means how we smell. And it is actually the only way that an oil can reach the limbic system of our brain, which is the emotional center of our brain. Which is why a lot of times we say, even for really like emotional things, to say, put some oil in here, an oil here, put an oil in your hand. I have a roller here, so I'm doing it like this. Rub it, cup your nose and your mouth, and just inhale at least a minute. And that way, what I'm inhaling goes straight to my emotional state. That's why we can feel such a fast effect, right? It only takes 22 seconds to reach the brain, which is really amazing. And like 20 minutes to reach the entire cells of your body. So what's also amazing is that when we smell it, when we inhale it, it takes, I think, Cinta, what's the stat? 22 seconds to the brain, 2 minutes into the blood, and 20 minutes to the cells in the body. Am I getting that right? Anyways, within 20 minutes, it's in your whole body. So meaning if you inhale it, and it can still go to your organs, it can help you with your pain in your knee. It's really amazing, even by inhaling, not even by applying it. So it's very, very powerful inhalation. So how do we do that? So this is one way, right? Through the hands, and we always say minimum 1 minute or 10 to 12 deep breaths for it to really have that effect. Or of course you can put it through in your diffuser, and there's so many nice diffusers out there. You see the second picture and the last picture, these are waterless diffusers. In Japan, we even have another one. It's behind me. I don't know if you see it, it's very little, but it's a waterless diffuser. So we put the essential oil straight in it, or we screw even the bottle in it, and it'll diffuse. And that's what we do for clinical ones. One is like to create the ambience, and you can make it strong to have that effect. But if you want to do something clinical, then it has to be waterless. So yeah. Another question I get a lot is like, oh, can we use any diffuser? I have a really good one for Muji, or I have a really good one I bought on Amazon, and can I use that diffuser? My answer is, if you don't really know the quality of the diffuser, don't, because you will waste your really good essential oils. Because, okay, so Young Living uses medical grade plastic to make the bases, or like to make the whole diffusers, meaning the oils cannot, sometimes the oils, because they're so strong and potent, they will eat away at plastic, or they will release like dangerous things and substances that are made in the plastic, and then you inhale those with the oils, and that also doesn't have a really good health effect, right? Then also the diffusers have an ultrasonic plate in the middle, meaning it has this vibration. You can feel, if you really pay attention to it, it really vibrates, and it has it disperses the oils into the air, and while it does it, it breaks down all the molecules by these vibrations. Because other, let's say, cheaper diffusers that don't have that effect, they'll do that. First of all, you see the plastic after a while not doing so well. Then it just diffuses. It might be a lot, and you might smell a lot, but you might not feel a lot, because it just throws out your expensive, valuable essential oils, and you need more because it diffuses so much. So you're better off with a really good quality one that even it's a slow diffusing, but what you diffuse is actually much of better quality. of better therapeutic effect. Okay. Ooh, there we go. So the next way that we can use essential oils is topically. Topically means application on your skin. Yeah, anywhere on your skin. So that's also quick. Let's say if you have, like what we mentioned, a pain in your knee, definitely apply it all over your knee. But then also make sure, if you're new to essential oils, try to dilute it. It depends also which oils, and I will always recommend try it first somewhere, dilute it a bit, and then see how you go. But it can't harm you as such. It can sometimes be hot because some oils are quite hot, so to say, but it won't harm you. Okay. But then one really great way to put it as well is we always say put it on the bottom of your feet. And you're like, why? Because that's where the pores of our skin are the biggest, so it can be absorbed much faster into your entire body from the bottom of your feet. And also, if you're kind of familiar with Chinese medicine, they use a lot of the reflexology points, right? So every point on the foot is actually associated with a body part or an organ or something. So like the big toe to the brain or something, which is why there's a lot of nerve endings on the bottom of your feet, as well as your spine. So that's another great way to place the oils, is along your spine. Other places where you can put them is like behind your ears, because the skin is really thin there as well, on your neck, on your abdomen, on your upper back, those kinds of places as well. And topically also means, like when it touches your skin, you can put it in bath salts, you can make a compress, you can make a massage oil, these kinds of things. And the third way, so that was the second way. So we've got inhalation, we've got topical application, and the third way is ingestion, what we just mentioned. And some people, they put a drop under the tongue. That's what we say sublingual, like under the tongue. Or you can put it in water, like we said, or make a tea, make it with some honey. We've got great recipes for cough syrups, for example, where you put honey or agave or something, and then you put certain oils, and then you eat it or drink it, drink it like a cough syrup. Or you can put it in a capsule, and we have slow release capsules in Young Living, so it goes there and only opens up when it reaches where it needs to go. Or you can cook with them, and you can safely do so because, again, they are pure. Okay, they have no fillers inside of them. Now, I do need to mention one thing, and that is the fact that, okay, every country is different because we're such an international community. So I've lived in so many different countries where I use the oils, and I have quite a collection. Usually when I do a face-to-face class, I show people like 3 or 4 bottles of lemon oil, all from different countries. One from Hong Kong, one from the US, one from Germany, and one from Singapore. And they all have different labels. It's the same oil, but they all have different labels. And the reason is that every country has different laws. And essential oils are actually, they are like considered cosmetic products, meaning it also says, no, do not consume it, because an essential oil official category is cosmetics, and they're also not going to tell you to eat your lipstick or suck on your eyeliner or something, right? It's like a cosmetic thing. So they have to, by law, for this category of oils, put that do not ingest it, or only do this, only do that, to kind of cover, protect themselves as well. But that is why also you cannot buy Young Living products in a shop, because who's going to tell you how to use these things, right? Who's going to be there? It's because we need to be connected like we are. Someone wants to sign up it has to be through someone else. So we can be here to give that education and the safety measures that you need to know. So then now, a few years ago, they came up with a vitality line. So in Germany and in Singapore, or like in Europe as a whole, and in Singapore, it's called Plus line, Plus. And it has a white label. And the rest of the world, it's called Vitality. Again, it's the same thing. And that is just, of course, Young Living was a bit like, but they can. It's so annoying that it says they can take it. Of course, they can ingest it. So they went through this process of getting some of the oils approved to be taken as a dietary supplement. Okay. And that's why they now have a different label where it says you can ingest it. But what you need, what we're telling you here in the community, the lemon you see there, the lemon oil in both bottles is exactly the same. 100% the same. Okay, it's just a different label because by law they have to do that. So sometimes when I do, like, I bake some cookies and I put like orange in my cookie or something, and I post on Instagram like, oh crap, I'm not allowed to do that, you know, like, so I put already the oil, but I was like, let me go find my Vitality bottle and I take a picture with that, because compliantly, officially, that's how we have to share. But you guys now know the same oil, no difference. So go crazy with it. It's so much fun. Put it in your water, put it in your smoothie bowls, make a salad dressing, cocktails. I make a gin and tonic with it sometimes. It's just amazing. So it's really, really fun to experiment. And if you want to know more, we also do classes on how to like cook with essential oils, which is really fun. Exactly. Some more yummy pictures. Peppermint brownies are some of my favorites. Really cool. Okay. Any questions so far before we move on to some safety guidelines? No? Okay. So essential oil safety. What's also really, really important to know is that all of the citrus oils are photosensitive, meaning that they can cause some pigmentation on your skin if you go into direct sunlight with it straight after. So what we always suggest, if you put like any citrus oil on you for whatever reason, you can do it under your clothes, okay? Or again, bottom of your feet is always a great one. But if you put it, let's say, on your face or something, try not to go out in the sun for about 24 hours after. That's why a lot of like the beauty serums, or like at least 12 hours, you know, a lot of the beauty serums where we put like, let's say, lemon for against the dark circles or something, we say apply it at night. Don't do it in the morning and then go out after, just to be safe. Then dilute, we already mentioned the fact of diluting, and that is just to keep, exactly, you can use anything like, it has to be pure organic though, coconut oil, jojoba oil, whatever good quality carrier oil that you have, and especially for kids as well. We have V6, which is a vegetable complex from Young Living, which is, honestly, I go with Young Living things just because I can trust them 100%. Again, I don't know, sometimes you buy these coconut oils and it's, you know, it says 100% this and that, but I don't know. I'm just a bit like that. And one more thing as well, if anything happens, let's say you ingested an oil and it's quite hot or something, do not use water. If you put, let's say, thieves on your skin and it's because it has cinnamon and clove, which are hot oils, it burns your skin, do not wash it with water. Why? Because it makes it worse. It just makes the symptoms so much worse. What do you do instead? Take some, even if you're in the kitchen and you have some cooking olive oil, just put it for the moment, because, or milk or yogurt or butter, or I don't know, something fatty, because that'll take away the burn. So I have a really funny. Now I think it's funny. Before I didn't think it was funny. We have an amazing recipe for a flu bomb, which means you put it into a capsule, a combination of oils, and when you feel like you're coming down with the flu or the cold, like, it's amazing. It's like a magic recipe. So anyways, that recipe has oregano in it, and oregano is also like a very hot and spicy oil because it's so concentrated, right? So I was like, I made it, I took it and put it in my mouth. I was like, do 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 do, where's my glass of water? And I'm like, oh, where's my water? Where's my water? I had it in my mouth so long that the capsule broke. And can you imagine how hot it was? It was so hot. I was like, I really wanted to cry. So what did I do? I texted Stephanie and I'm like, Steph, what do I do? My mouth is burning. Like, she didn't answer straight away. So I finally found my water. What did I do? I chucked the whole glass of water and it became worse. And then she replied and she's like, what did you do? I was like, I did this. And then I drank water. And she's like, oh, Des, remember, don't drink water. Drink like milk. Go get something, or a tablespoon of like your V6 oil or olive oil or whatever. And I'm like, oh, yeah, duh. Okay. So you learn from your mistake. It's never happened to me since, but just remember that from my story now. Okay. Next one is when you're pregnant or pregnant or breastfeeding. There's a few that are recommended not to use, or use them sparingly, especially if you're not so used to essential oils. And I am, if you are interested in it, I know there's some pregnant ladies in our community. I'm going to I'll send the dates on a pregnancy webinar soon, and where we'll talk about all of these safety measures and the do's and the don'ts. Okay, and now I have a little bit of an issue because, oh, now I couldn't read. Okay, I couldn't read, I'll put it here, the right side of the slides. Okay, now I can. Patch test, I already said, try to, put some oil first just to see what your reaction is, but yeah, you do what you feel is safe for you. And then babies and children, just keep them away from your kids, make sure they don't consume it too much, and also dilute a lot for your kids because their skin is really, really thin and very, very sensitive. So whatever you use, just double their dilution for now. And I have a guide here. So I know there's a lot of mommies out there, so you can like screenshot this. It's a really good guide. I'm a person, I'm not good with like 3 drops to like so and so many milliliters. Like, I'm always like rushing and on the go, so I always just estimate things. So this is a really amazing graphic that someone also from our community made. So it's at ages 0 to 1, I would just use like a tiny little bit of oil and then fill it up with carrier oil. Then from 2 to 6, you can do it a little bit more. From 7 to 11, you can already do like half. But again, it depends which oil and your comfort level. And at age 12 plus, they're pretty much considered an adult in the oil world. So you can give it to them straight and just test it out. And again, if they're sensitive to something, bottom of the feet is always like the least sensitive place to do that. Okay, then, okay, any questions to the safety things, safety informations? Nope. Then we move on to some of our oils from the starter kit. So who here has their starter kit with them, or at least some oils with them? So I'm going to speak about each oil just a little bit. It was really hard for me to put together this presentation because there's so many uses. I could probably talk about each oil for like an hour, but I won't. So I'm just like doing some, like the main parts of, especially about how I use the oils and what I found really useful. But There's so many more benefits per oil out there. So let me know if you need any more guidelines. So lavender is also known as the Swiss Army knife of oils. Why? Because it does everything. We always say there's a few oils. When in doubt, you don't know what to use, you can't reach any of us, use lavender. It's bound to work, and to some extent. That one and frankincense, which we'll talk about later. It's really, really good. So it actually supports the cardiovascular system. So the whole heart and blood and all of that, really good for immunity, respiratory, your nervous system. But it also helps to calm your emotions when you inhale it or even when you apply it. It's good, really, really, really good for the skin. So it's in a lot of our skin recipes as well. It's smoothing. It's really good for allergies, like people who have hay fever, because it's a natural antihistamine. Really good for hair, really good for sleep. And for the moms out there with little ones, it's really good for bruises and scratches. It's like always in my purse when my little one falls, and the knees and everything, you just put lavender on it, cleans it, and disinfects it, and also like helps it heal. It's amazing. Bruises, it's fantastic. So moms, you gotta have that in your handbag or the diaper bag or something. um exactly, I love to diffuse it. It's really good for sleep, like mentioned, and yeah, mentioned all of those ways as well. Then, okay, sorry for the graphics here, but I wanted to show like more of an extreme case. So this is a teenage boy who's had eczema all of his life. Okay, he is I think 17, 18, something like that. And all of his life, really, really bad. As you can see, that's what he doesn't know life anything anywhere else. So the mom approached our community leader, and she gave him a protocol. And look at this, 1 week after the protocol, how much the skin already improved, and 2 months after. So the key also with essential oils, you need to use them on a regular basis. You need to use them like really consistently to see results. You don't have to use them forever, but just until the thing is fixed. So that was mainly with lavender. So if anyone's interested on that protocol, we can give that out after. Then the next one is frankincense. Now, frankincense is the other like one. When in doubt, when you can't find the answer and you need something quick, use frankincense. It's also bound to work. It's great for immunity, again, the respiratory system, but it's also extremely good for like the mood, like brings you in a better mood. And it's really good for meditation. So it's a very spiritual oil as well, where it helps you just connect to the higher power and to ground you as well when you're meditating, just to as if you get roots, all of a sudden you're fully grounded, and it's a great support. Super duper 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 good for skin. We call it Botox in a bottle. I'm not kidding. There's some people who use this, and moms, they literally got rid of their wrinkles. They put their lotion, they put frankincense straight, even without dilution, onto like the crow's feet and forehead, or like here the laughing wrinkles, and they look amazing. So it's yeah, Botox in a bottle. um, it's also really powerful. I can say this in like a closed group, a very powerful oil for cancer as well, to treat cancer. So it's really good. That and sacred frankincense, so very, very powerful. So yeah, it's also good for your brain health and for focus. You can just put it on the back of your neck or your brain stem, and yeah, it's just an amazing oil to have. We have that in a lot of our recipes. Sorry, just a little note here for Sok. I know you are based in Japan, like me. The starter kit here in Japan is slightly different than the international one. So, for example, you have sacred frankincense in yours. And I can also send you like separate information about the oils. You'll hear about some of the oils you don't have in your starter kit, but I'll send you the information about yours. Japan has a slightly different collection. Okay. Now our beloved lemon. So it takes about 75 lemons to make a bottle, a 15 ml bottle. It's really quite cool. That's a lot of lemons, isn't it? But it's not made from the flesh, it's made from the rind of the fruit. So a lot of people say the number one I use lemon is as a drink in the morning. So 2 to 3 drops in a glass of warm water. And I drink it before my coffee, before my breakfast, before anything, because it cleanses and detoxes your body. Like seriously, since then I can go to the bathroom more regularly. I feel just clean. I feel like I don't feel so bloated or anything. Lemon is for me like the key. Our whole family does that in the morning. And then a lot of people say, but I can't do that so early in the morning because it's really like acidic, right, for my tummy and stuff. I was like, no, that's where the difference is. Or a lot of people say, yeah, I've been doing that for years. I squeeze lemon inside. Yeah, okay, you squeeze like half a lemon inside, but one drop, remember how many kilos of oil is like in one drop of the Young Living oil. So it's much more intense than just squeezing it. Plus again, it comes from the rind. Now the funny thing is as well, the benefits, the therapeutic benefits, the detoxing qualities, all of that is in the skin of the lemon, not in the flesh, not in the juice. So the funny thing is then a lot of people slice it, they squeeze it, and then they throw away the lemons. They throw away the good stuff that you actually need. Plus for the ones, okay, guess now we can't travel anymore, but when we used to travel a lot, it's just easier to have lemon with you in your bag. What I also love to use it for is loads of recipes, cooking, baking, but also it's really uplifting. All of the citrus oils are really uplifting. Like you should try it, like inhale it. You immediately just feel like lighter and happier. And then also what I love is, when you have these sticky things on the bottles, or you try to reuse an essential oil bottle and you peel off the sticker and it's got all this, you can't get it off, just take a drop of lemon, wipe it there, and then wipe it off. It's so clean. It's so easy to get all the sticky stuff away. Or my little one drew on the wall the other day. He says it was an accident. I'm not so sure. But I took some lemon oil on a sponge. It came off like an eraser. It was amazing. So again, mom's really important oil to have. Yeah, so one more note, when you use lemon, make sure please it's always in a glass bottle or stainless steel or something, but never in a plastic bottle, because again, we don't know the quality of the plastic and this oil eats away on the plastic. So it's quite potent, so just be careful of your container. So this is an example. Look what happens when you put a drop of oil on a styrofoam cup, which styrofoam is just like chemicals, like just like bad stuff. Look how it dissolves that. And it actually makes a hole in it. So you can also imagine though how good and detoxing it is in your body. It'll just detox all of the bad stuff in your tummy, but it obviously will leave your everything else alone. So it's a really, really great, powerful little oil. And it's the most safest for kids. So I always say when you have even a newborn baby or really little babies, use lemon. Lemon is so underestimated. It's one of the cheapest oils, but it's so powerful when they have a runny nose, a cough, a fever, anything. Use lemon, diffuse lemon. Seriously, it works. And also the ones who are pregnant, the ones who are breastfeeding, use lemon for your immunity support. just maybe use that better instead of thieves. Also for your baby's feet, under the feet, you don't even need to dilute it. Maybe, okay, up until 6 months dilute it, but after that, I wouldn't, no need anymore. Put it on the bottom of their feet for immunity support. Okay, the next one is copaiba. Now, copaiba is also from a tree, I think, a tree. Yeah. And it is an amazing, I say it's like a painkiller. Like it's really good against pain, but it's also the highest like anti-inflammatory. When you have anything that's swollen, use copaiba on it, and it brings down the swelling, and it really kind of numbs the area a little bit as well. It's fantastic. So again, it's really good for heart health, like cardiovascular, nervous system, respiratory system, and it helps to calm and focus as well. So you can put it in your diffuser. Muscle tension, exactly. When you apply some oils, you can always apply a little bit of copaiba on top, because it has the ability to amplify any other oils you put. For example, again, your knee or something, you can put peppermint or panaway, and then at the end you put a little bit of copaiba on top. It'll make the effect of the other oils even higher, even stronger. So it's super good. What teething for little babies, it's like a wonder potion as well. Straight on your, it's very, very gentle. So straight on your gum, no need to dilute, and put it straight on the gums of your teething baby. I did it the other day. I had a tooth, not the other day, like a few months ago, a toothache. I was just like so uncomfortable. So I put a little bit of copaiba on there, and it helped as well. So you can try it out for yourself too. It's really great as well for urinary tract infections or something. It's a really versatile oil as well. Peppermint. Who here loves peppermint? Oh, I love it. It's just, oh, it's really good. Lately, I have it every day. When I go out, I bring a big water bottle and I put a drop and I fill it up. It's amazing to have warm, like peppermint water in the winter is great. It's super good for your circulatory system, digestive support, for airway, again, for breathing. And also, it's like an appetite support. Like, if you don't have appetite, it can help you have appetite. But if you are also trying to curb your craving, it curbs your cravings. There's a few oils that work either way. They're so smart, this nature, that it gives the body what it needs or take away what it doesn't need. It's quite interesting. It's super uplifting and energizing. Like, I get a lot of energy. So when I start drinking my peppermint water in the morning, honestly, I drink it throughout the day. 1 drop in a liter of water, that's all you need. And I drink less coffee now because I feel like I have so much energy and I don't have these afternoon slumps. So you should try it. It's amazing. It's also really cooling. So when I lived in Singapore or Jakarta, which is super duper hot, just take some oil, put it on the back of your neck. It's like a portable air conditioner. I'm not kidding. It's so cooling. It's really, really nice. For the ones who are pregnant and breastfeeding, just use it sparingly for now, and don't use it around babies because it is so strong. It's not so that the baby's lungs are just not developed enough to have this very strong smell. Yeah. So just as a bit of a safety guideline here. What else? Yeah, after a workout, when you feel like sore, you can put peppermint. It feels really, really good as well. I cannot read the bottom again. 1 second. Yeah. It drives oils deeper, meaning that it again enhances the oils. So peppermint or copaiba on top are just the amazing oils to finish anything you do topically with. Stress away. Some people do not know about stress away because it's hiding underneath in your starter kit. When you first got the starter kit, you have all of your 10 oils, And some people forget or don't know that you can lift up that flap and there's a whole load of stuff under there. There's Ningxia, there's a roller ball, there's Stress Away, there's little bottles, there's little info cards, a whole treasure chest down there. And my favorite oil, and the one I fell in love with first from Young Living, and the oil I think people associate me with because I always smell like Stress Away, it's my perfume. It really helps me on every day. And sometimes people ask me, how can I be such a calm mother? Sometimes I give all the credit to Stress Away. I put it on in the morning here and here like you would perfume, and it calms you down. I have a little 3-year-old and I call him a three-nager. It's, yeah, for the ones that with kids, you know what I mean. So I take it out in the afternoon too. Sometimes I'm like, 1 second, let me breathe it in to, like, stay calm as well. Great for people who are working, have a stressful job. It's also great for focus and mental clarity. I love putting it in the diffuser. It's really great. And yeah, it's made up of wonderful things. And like copaiba, lime, cedarwood, ocotea, lavender, and a little bit of vanilla as well, which is a good oil for against stress. Yeah. Okay. Now Panaway. Panaway, and you will notice it has a slightly different top on, right? The bottle is slightly different because it's kind of like a child lock thing, although I've been told more and more oils have this now. It's probably not a bad thing when you have kids around. But this one contains wintergreen. So it has wintergreen, helichrysum, clove, and peppermint. So it's a blend. Yeah, a lot of these oils are pre-blended. And the combination of that is amazing. It's like the name says, it takes the pain away. And it is really good even to, okay, first, after a workout, again, sore muscles, or you kind of did a little bit too much, it's really good. When you wake up, like you sleep wrong and you have this really sore neck or stiff shoulders, perfect. Panaway takes it away. But even on things like a sprained foot, or people use it on broken bones, it's really, really, really powerful. And again, one drop goes a very long way. And this is also why we say dilute your oils. It's okay. Dilution doesn't mean that it's less effective, that it takes away the power of the oils. Dilution merely means your body will absorb it slower. So one drop goes a long way. Don't put like 3 or 4 drops, and no need really. If you have a large area to cover for anything, put the V6 or a carrier oil, 1 or maybe 2 drops, and then you can cover a big area and it'll just be absorbed a bit slower. But yeah, don't go wasting those oils. There's no need. Yeah, it smells really like, it smells, again, I can't read the bottom. Yeah, but it smells a bit like this one gum. I don't know, anyone who smelled it, you know what I mean, or like root beer, like a little bit, it has that because of the wintergreen, it has that specific smell. This is an example, because I'm sorry for the graphics, but I thought I'll leave it in there for someone who had actually broken a bone. This is the x-ray, and then she's used Panaway on like the stitches and everything. Not on the stitches, maybe not, but like for the pain and on the bone, and it healed so fast. I mean, it's super powerful. Now comes our beloved Thieves. Now Thieves now also has the Vitality line. In some cases it is Vitality, in some boxes it's not, depending on which country. But again, remember, it's the same thing, just different label. It's like our biggest thing for immunity support. So for our newbies here, I don't know if you know the story of Thieves. Why is it called Thieves? Such an odd name. But it's really like thieves, like stealing stuff, because before in like the medieval times there was the plague, another pandemic, unfortunately, but that killed a lot of people. And when people were sick, there was a group that went to go to the houses of the sick and the dying people to rob them, to steal their money and their jewelry and whatever, to rob them. And they finally got caught. And the king was like, okay, we will reduce your sentence if you tell us how can you go to these houses of these sick people but never get sick yourselves? Like, what's the secret? And then we'll reduce your sentence. So it turns out they were spice traders. So what they did before they went into these houses is they rubbed themselves with spices, all types of spices, and that would protect them into getting sick. So right now you know why this blend is so powerful in this pandemic that we're in as well, because it really, really protects. The blend, so Gary Young, the founder of Young Living, went out and he really, really researched and tried so many things and finally got the blend. And it's clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary together. And that's why clove and cinnamon are a little bit hot oils, which is why it's hot, and it also smells like Christmas, and we love it. And it is so powerful that it actually kills 99.96% of airborne bacteria and viruses, which is right now. So my husband still goes to work. When he comes home, guess what I have running in my diffuser? Thieves all the time, and especially in the evening, because whatever he may bring home, I just diffuse it to make sure to protect ourselves. And we put it on without fail on the bottom of our feet. Now, I, like many of you as well, we have husbands or significant others that may be a little bit skeptical of like, oh, what are these oils and everything. Honestly, thieves was one of the turning points for my own husband, who I said, okay, babe, we've got to put it on the bottom of our feet every day. Why every day? Because we want us to prevent us getting sick. We want to build our immunity. A lot of people only start using oils when they're sick, but then natural medicine also takes longer than this laboratory medicine. But sometimes we need to just make sure we don't get sick in the first place. So thieves is one way we can protect ourselves. So he was like, okay, whatever, put it on my feet. So I put a roller ball. He didn't want to touch them either, men, And so I put a roller ball on there, and then I put it on the bottom of his feet, or he did every day. And then he was like, after a while, or like literally a year later, he was like, we have not been sick. We literally have not been sick, and I haven't had a stomach bug. I haven't had anything. He used to get not sick, but you catch things here and there. Hasn't been sick at all. And he's like, damn, they really work. So he was a believer, and slowly and slowly he let me do more and more and more with him. And now he's full in. You should see the oil collection that he has. It's awesome. So this oil blend is so powerful that Young Living has made a whole thieves line, meaning cleaning, household cleaner, laundry soap, dishwashing liquid, toothpaste, mouthwash, soap, bar soap, hand soap. Stassi, what else? You have the kit. What else? Um, Sanitizer, the spray, so many things, because it is such a powerful agent. And for the ones who want to know more about it, I have a whole presentation just on thieves. So let me know if you would like to know more about that. Okay, I can talk about this oil for 10 years, but I won't. Okay, the next one is purification. Purification is another beautiful oil. It's another blend, and it consists of lemongrass, citronella, rosemary, tea tree, lavandin, and myrtle. So can you guess from these oils what it could be used good for? We love to use it for bug repellent, actually. Even just that, it's already a blend with some carrier oil, rub it all over us. It's amazing for a bug repellent. Some people need a bit of more stuff, but for us, actually, it works quite well. And another one is to get rid of odors. So when you have, let's say you cooked a curry or something that smells quite strong, right? And you want to just neutralize the air a little bit, or you've had like something that's gone off in your fridge and it smells terrible, put some few drops of purification on a cotton bud, put it in your fridge, or put it in the diffuser, and it really clears the air. Because of the lemongrass, a lot of people also think it smells quite like a spa, so it's really good. Put it in if you have someone in the family that has smelly shoes, a drop cotton bud, stick it in their shoes. That's perfect. Or on the bottom of your trash can, you know, to neutralize the odor. So it's quite it's a very, very useful oil. Digize. I know some people in here have nice testimonials about Digize as well. This is our digestive support, and
Yeah, digest.
it is really good for anything that goes down here. Intestinal support, digestion. It works for diarrhea, but also for constipation. So again, it does what the body needs. We have diarrhea, it'll make it kind of stop. If you have constipation, it'll make you want to go to the bathroom. So it's amazing. Food poisoning, anything. So what you do, take a couple of drops, sit up, and then rub it on your tummy in a clockwise motion. Probably see here. Clockwise for the energy. Clockwise motion around your belly button, the digize, and then what you can also do, put it in the bottom of your feet, or one drop of it in the water. Warning, it does not taste great. Personally, I think that, but it's super duper duper good. Okay. And it helps. And also, it's also really good for hangovers, just FYI, if anyone needs that information. You can also put a drop straight under your tongue. And yeah, it's a great blend of tarragon, ginger, peppermint, fennel, juniper, lemongrass, anise, and patchouli. So it's like a powerhouse of oils. And yeah, definitely I use it. Okay, when we can travel again, put it in your luggage, because when we go to exotic places or other places, we tend to want to try their food, and if our body's not really aligned with that, we may have tummy trouble. So it's always definitely with us when we go somewhere else. Okay, RC. RC stands for respiratory care, or some people say it stands for respiratory comfort, and it is for our airways. And many people may have heard now with this pandemic, we do use it a lot because it's just so supportive for our respiratory care. You can put a drop straight in your mask. If it's a little bit too strong, put it and leave it, and don't wear it straight away, or dilute it, make a spray out of it, whatever you want. It's quite good. And not quite good, this is really, really good, and it protects your airways. And I always say, if we're out and something, maybe we're around people who may not be so healthy, but because we're inhaling it, it really protects us and can like kill things as well. So I never leave the house without like an oil in my mask. I use several different ones. It's a different topic, but RC is definitely one. Super good for coughs and anything like, respiratory. So if you're coughing, put it in your diffuser. Rub it on your chest. Again, you can dilute it because you need to cover a bigger area. So 1 or 2 drops is enough. Put it on your chest and your upper back. inhale it from your palms. It's really, really good. Look at everything that's in there. Eucalyptus globulus, myrtle, marjoram, pine, Eucalyptus radiata, Eucalyptus citriodora, lavender, cypress, black spruce, and peppermint. It's just incredible. So yeah, that's our C. Okay, that was actually all of the oils. So there's 11, and I think in Indonesia there's an extra oil as well. In Germany there's an extra oil. So there's some like a 12th oil in some countries that are always different. So depending where you are, it's really good. You can explore that other oil as well. Then you also have some Ningxia Red sachets. So Ningxia Red is an amazing whole body supplement. If you are confused on what supplements you should take Ningxia, because Ningxia helps every one of your body systems, everything from like your brain to your heart to your skin to like everything, your endocrine system, respiratory, anything. And it's really, really powerful. It's made a concentrate from the wolfberry, so it's similar in the family of like the goji berry, but it's from the Ningxia region in China, and it has the highest antioxidant properties. So it is pretty much, so if we drink one sachet, right, it's 60 milliliters, or you can buy the bottles. And so we drink a sachet each. Even my 3-year-old, he does not share anymore. He drinks a whole one. He loves it. And we have amazing recipes for it to put them in smoothies or freeze it to make a popsicle, or gummies as well, gummy bears. And it's just amazing, especially if you can get your kids to eat or drink it. It's super good. So 30 ml, which is half a sachet, is equivalent to eating 59 broccolis, or 100 oranges, or 814 blueberries, or 22,000 almonds. Are you gonna eat 22,000 almonds in a day? Probably not. And 59 broccoli things, probably not. So having Ningxia in your life is amazing, especially now. Keep your immunity up, stay healthy. One sachet of Ningxia and some Super C, which is like a vitamin C, but all natural. And you're really good, and thieves under your feet. So this is pretty much our immunity protocol, what we do. Okay, so a lot of people think, okay, great, Young Living equals essential oils, but that's not true. So that's a lot of people really think that's all Young Living has, but it has actually over 600 lifestyle products. And lifestyle products means your personal hair, hygiene, personal care, cleaning, dental, supplements, wellness, food items, teas. They have so much, and it's just incredible. And it's the perfect thing if you say, I'm gonna do a switch and ditch journey. That's what I did over 3 years ago when I found out I was pregnant. I looked at my things in the house and I said, okay, I hate wasting things as well. So I was like, okay, this is empty now. I have a choice. Am I going to rebuy it, or am I going to buy the natural, better version from Young Living, right? So, okay, don't buy this anymore from that store. I'll buy the Young Living one. This is, my supplements are finished. Do I buy it again, or do I go to the supplements in Young Living? So slowly but surely I switched everything. It doesn't have to happen overnight. My journey took me 2 years plus minus, and even now there's still things here and there that I need to look at. I love to DIY a lot of my stuff. So this lifestyle has not only become for me better, but honestly now it's also cheaper because I DIY a lot. And thieves, again, that's a whole different webinar. I save a lot of money on these things, and they last forever, and I'm healthy and I'm doing something good for my family. So keep that in mind. If you want to go on this journey of switch and ditch, Young Living has like everything, and it's a one-stop shop, and it's online, it gets delivered to your door, so it's like a win-win situation. So again, Thieves range, which is like everything cleaning, but also toothpaste, mouthwash, the hand sanitizer, spray, like anything. They have a whole men's range. I know that's not necessarily available right now in a lot of the Asian countries, but you can order from the US, but it's a whole men's range. They have then personal care, which is your soaps and shampoos and conditioners and lotions and face toner and serums and everything. And then they have a kids range as well, which is amazing, from like it says toddler years and up, but to be honest, my baby used this since he was born. I use the lotion because I love it. It's my favorite. I also use the kids range. But yeah, it's really great. They have a seedlings baby range that didn't exist yet when my little one was born, but now he uses it, and he loves it. There is a whole animal range as well for pets. They have Savvy Minerals makeup, which is one of the newest lines. So that's where my latest switch and ditch has been, to switch over all my makeup. And supplements, which are amazing. Again, supplements is a huge topic. About why these supplements is because some, even ones from like Nature Made, are not natural. They're actually made with synthetic things. It's really sad. So it's do your research on the things that you have. Then toxic chemicals in your home. So I do a whole webinar on why we need to get rid of chemicals in our home. I won't get into details, but I do have another whole session on this available. Yeah, so another big thing that came to be part of my life is, first of all, I want my family to be healthy. I want to just live more sustainably, but also we need to help our planet. That's another big thing. So all of the Young Living items are all biodegradable because they are just nature, right? It's like nature thrown into nature is it's biodegradable. And also Young Living has a 5-year pledge to go zero waste. So I really respect that as well. And they're always making adjustments to their packaging as well. To have, like, their aim is to be a zero waste company, which is amazing. So yeah, again, I have a whole webinar on this one as well, and how this can be beneficial to our planet. Essential rewards, I'm going to introduce at this point as well. So Essential Rewards is the monthly order system, and that is means, I call it my monthly wellness box. Every month we get a box, and I can choose the contents of this box, and it is the things that keep us healthy, from our Ningxia to our shampoo to our supplements to anything I decide to put in there. Because I have stopped buying from all the other shops, I now have a one-stop shop for Young Living. So I get to earn points. Isn't that good? Like, it saves me money, it saves me time, and it saves me money. Plus I move around every couple of years, and it saves me the headache of always finding out where to get my stuff. I have Young Living, right? So for the newbies in here, when you first join, for the first 3 months, you get 10% back in form of points, which you can then redeem for free products, which is great. And the minimum order is a bit different in each country, but usually it's at 50 points. So again, the value is going to be different in each country. But after the 4th month, you already get 20% back. And after 25 months, or like 2 years plus, you get 25% back. So you by being a member, you now already save 24% of the retail price. Plus, you get 25% in points, which you can get for free products. So, and they shower you with gifts. I get so many gifts. It's beautiful. I get to try things I wouldn't have thought about trying, or I have then gifts also to give to other people. It's a really, really, really generous system. And I can only recommend it. It'll, if you're serious about this lifestyle, it's the best way to go. Then, yeah, with your, I just mentioned that, the wholesale pricing, the essential rewards, but you also get a generous compensation if you like me, for example, that I'm so passionate about it that I love to share because it's really transformed our lives. And I like to share that with others. It's like, okay, if you have a really good recipe, let's say my friend the other day made an amazing banana cake. And she's like, oh my God, Des, I have this amazing recipe. You got to try it. It's this and this and this and this. It's so good. And I'm like, cool, thank you. I'm like, I loved it. I made it. I love it. And I now make it every week. And I was really grateful for her. I feel it's the same thing, right? Like I use an oil because I used to get headaches. Then I use this oil. Now I have no more headaches. So I'm like, oh my God, you got to try this oil. It's amazing because it helped me. I feel like it wouldn't be fair not to share that with my friend if that's something that brings me joy and that it has really helped me. And then I share it now with someone else, right? It's the same like sharing a recipe. But Young Living also compensates you for that, which is really great. So it compensated me in a way that I now am able to use all of my products for free, because whatever they compensate me, I just use that to buy my products each month. And so for me, having been like also a mom, like someone who's worked and someone who's had a paycheck, to being a stay-at-home mom, I pride myself that I am the one who can give my family toxic-free products, health, immunity, beauty products, wellness products, and I'm able to do that for my family. So that was my main motivation for being able to do that.